I see it being tight. I'm worried about this game.
All right, hello and welcome to the Matchday Vlogs channel. As always, please remember to smash that like button, hit subscribe, because it really does make a difference to your channel. We're here for another opposition preview. This time it's with Wolfie from Forest Fan TV. How are we doing, Wolfie?
Mate, welcome back.
Thanks,
welcome
buddy.
back. I'm so happy that you guys got promoted. So I'm just really happy. You know, I love you, obviously. That was like half the reason I wanted you up. And I've always liked Southampton. Obviously, you know, it's the Tree Derby. Yeah, it's the big one. It's the big one. Everything stops at 3 o'clock on Saturday. The whole world will be watching the Tree Derby, mate. So I'm excited. You're back where you belong. I'm a traditionalist. Forest should always be in the Premier League. Southampton should. Brentford, Brighton, all those, you know, plastic teams. Yeah, bring back Sheffield Wednesday. You know, those kind of teams. Yeah, I guess with that, I'd have to say Leeds, but I don't want Leeds back in. But yeah, it's good to have you back, mate. Welcome back.
Well, it's very, very good to be back, and I'm sure this opposition preview will be quite different to many others that I've done before, because there will be plenty of silliness involved. So please bear with us as we're trying to get through it. I just know this one can't be monetized, so we'll see how it goes.
I won't swear, I promise.
Just on the editing process again, boop, 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 all the way through it like that. But yeah, no, all good. So, my goodness, our two teams playing each other at the weekend. I've got some sensible questions. I've got some silly questions for you as well.
Okay.
I'm going to blend them in with each other if that's all good with you. But let's start off with your strengths and weaknesses, really. I mean, what are Forest's biggest weakness and biggest strengths at this moment in time? Where are you lacking?
Just about chucking me straight in the deep end.
No small talk.
Back. He's back with a bang. He's back with a bang. All right, so I'll say this. Our strengths are some of the individual players we've got.
Okay.
You got Murillo, our centre back, who I think he's going to be world class. I wouldn't say he's world class right now. Morgan Gibbs-White, everyone rates Morgan Gibbs-White. I think there's more to come out of him. He still does some things that annoy me. Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's been sensational. Like last season, pre-season as well, he was really good. And then you've got Sangare, who's now coming into his own. He's over his malaria. The ones that hate. Huh?
I heard he got malaria. How'd you
get malaria? He got. I think it was while he was out in AFCON, and he came back and he just wasn't over it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, Mike, the whole fan base were against him. They're like, "Oh, this guy, 30 million, what a waste of money." I was getting pelters. I was like, he doesn't become crap overnight. He's gonna be good. Just give him time. Give him the poor bloke time. And he's starting to come in. I'm not saying he's world class right now, but he's definitely performing a lot better. And I just think like the difference from when we played you last, because I remember what you said, Mike. We were the worst team that beat you last time you were in the league a couple of years ago. And I agreed with you.
And I knew it was bad. That's when I knew it was bad.
Horrible.
Yeah.
We're low block, turgid football and all that. And what's changed is we've progressed slightly. I wouldn't say we progressed to like the next level yet under Nuno, but the progression is there. Where our weaknesses are, and there are plenty, all right, let's not shy away from them, as Cooper used to say, is mistakes. We're still very weak at dead balls and corners. We conceded one to Bournemouth last week. It was offside, but we got lucky with that one. We still look shaky with individual errors. Yeah, the goal they scored was a bit of a freak goal where they got him behind us, behind, I forgot his name now, Nico Williams. And then Tuffalo went to clear it, smashed it into Murillo's face. It nicely bobbles into, I think it was Semenya's path. And it was 1-1, and it was late. There's still plenty of mistakes. I still think we need another striker. I'm sure we're going to talk about that shortly. But overall, there's enough for me to say to you guys that you could realistically look. I'll be realistic and honest, as I always am. You'll be looking at this match thinking potentially this is a game maybe we can get out of. There's something out of, you know? So it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Just talking back on that whole kind of low block and the things that are changing. I mean, knowing how sad you were when Steve Cooper left.
I'm still recovering, mate.
Does it make you jealous to see him at Leicester City? And how are you going to feel when he thrashes you 1-0 at the City Ground?
Did you watch the Spurs game the other day?
I did. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that second half. Just like
that was typical Cooper, wasn't it? It was 70 minutes or 60 minutes, whatever. Absolutely nothing. 11 men behind the ball, and they get the one shot and it goes in. I don't know if it's typical Cooper or typical Spurs. Like that was my perfect. I hate Spurs. I don't mind Leicester, but obviously I want Cooper to do crap because my brother supports Spurs. Any result was okay with me. But no, I would not worry about Leicester this season because I said to Chappie, I was chatting to him before, I said Spurs and Villa are Cooper's favourite. I was going to say something rude, but is a favourite to opposition that he can come against. There's no expectation. He can low block. They play a high line. He can hit him on the counter. I think we'll see what they do against Fulham this weekend, you know. So no, I'm not worried about Cooper at all. I've actually got you guys to stay up. Solidarity review, mate. 17th I'll put you down for.
Oh.
Yeah. But then again, I put Forest 8th. So if you want to put 17th or not, it's up to you.
I watched our last preview together, and I'm sure you said you were going to get Champions League last season.
No, that was when we got promoted. Right, don't misquote me, mate. Okay. Right, I said we're coming straight up. We're gonna do what Frank Clark did, in the glory years. Come up straight into that was 3rd. And I was like, I'll down dial the expectations to 4th. Yeah, I'll go down 1 place. Bloody hell, man! The Premier League changed since we were last in it.
Quite competitive now, is it? Well, while we're on that, you've had back-to-back Premier League survivals. I think that's a thing. I've just made it a thing. What are the ambitions this season? What are you realistically hoping for? And what do you think
mine or the clubs?
Let's go with yours. They're way more fun.
Well, I saw a really good preseason. Yeah, last couple of preseasons under Coops, it was horrible. But I saw a structure. I saw professionalism. I saw the right players being used, and we were getting. It wasn't so much about the wins, but we were getting, good chemistry on the pitch, good sequences and things like that. So I came into the season thinking, right, if we can beat Bournemouth, who are our bogey team, we haven't beat them since like 2015.
Yeah.
And we got you, then we got Wolves, and then we got cut up. I think just Liverpool's the only quote unquote hard game we've got. I'm there like, Forest could be top at the end of September. So I was like, interesting. And we play Bournemouth and it's like, pop. Oh yeah, Forest. Oh yeah, there's mistakes. They're still there. So my expectations, realistically, right, from the head, not the heart, is that Forest do a Crystal Palace, have a boring season, be that boring Crystal Palace season. You know how we take the mick out of Rich? They're always 12th. That would be nice and comfortable. And honestly, man, I had a suspected heart attack last season towards the end. I was in a hospital for like 2 days of it. Yeah. It's all Forest's fault. So I don't want to die this season. So I want a boring season, right? And I just want to relax a bit. So I'll be happy with 12. What do I think the players are capable of? I think we could break the top 10. That is Marinakis' ambition. That's why he's invested all the money. You look at what Bournemouth and Palace did last season. There's no reason that Forest can't do something similar. We're more settled. Nuno's got the squad that he wants, or at least he claims he wants. So, the giddiness of me says probably the ceiling is like 10th. Realistically, you're probably looking at somewhere between 11th and 13th, I'd say.
Yeah, it's weird to see like Palace cashing in on a lot of their talent and to see how that might change the outcomes come the end of the season. But I think there's so many clubs that are aiming for mid-table, but in reality, it's going to be that battle at the bottom, isn't it? I mean, the bottom half of the table, the last time we were in the Premier League, that's what
it was 9, wasn't there? Yeah, there was 9 within a couple of points.
So special. It's because like literally everyone's just like, well, it could be you, it could be West Ham, it could be literally anyone. So
and do you remember each week we're doing beat the drop, and then a different person was depressed.
Well, I was always depressed. I had to change my screen name because it just
you were just level-headed, man. You were the only one there consistent in your feelings. Yeah. Everyone else, I remember the Everton guy would come on crying one time, and you'd have John crying. Jace was being Jace. So yeah, that was a quality season. That really was. Well, not for you guys, obviously.
It was terrible for us. Do you remember that show we did in Manchester? Was it for William Hill or something like
William
that?
Hill, yeah.
I just literally had to sit there just looking depressed the whole time because there's like, oh.
Do you remember when they sat you through it? It was about 4 of you because we were safe at that stage, and you Leicester.
We were done.
Yeah, yeah. But they sat you on that little chair. You're like, you poor guys, right? Welcome to the therapy corner. And you were like condoling them. You're already down. You're like, coming with me, Leeds. You're coming with me. What happened to
really
that? I thought
selling
they said to us they wanted to do more. Anyway, that's a whole different topic.
Indeed. Who knows? But while we're talking on the incomings and outgoings, I mean, your transfer business, you were murmuring stuff back and forth on the text with me the other day in regards to what's going on. So what is going on, and will it happen?
Well, our transfers in general have been really good this pre-season, up until a certain date, aka where we are now. So we've strengthened. We bought Milenkovic, really good centre back, Serbian from where was it? Fiorentina, I think it was. We've strengthened with some wingers as well. Sosa's come in, top talent. He's from Paraguay. We've got Jota Silva, the Portuguese Grealish is his nickname. Apparently, he doesn't play like him. He just looks like him. Who else we brought in? Anderson, we brought him in from Newcastle. Apparently people think we paid 35 million for him. We didn't. It was between 13 and 15 because we sold him Vlachodimos for 22 mil.
Okay.
So we've strengthened correctly. There's almost been like an approach from Forest, which is weird to say over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
However, as we come towards the end of the transfer window, I feel like maybe Marinakis starts to get a little itchy. You know, he checks his bank balance; it's still healthy, and he's like, you know, maybe for tax purposes and stuff, I need to move some money out. And now we're seeing these links. Forest need a striker. Chris Wood scores goals. He just doesn't really do much else on the pitch, man. He almost plays as a CDM. So when you look at his average position, it's behind like Sangare at times. So we need a new striker.
Slow block.
Huh?
A slow block. He's just defending, isn't
he? He's still playing as a low block. He's forgotten we've changed managers. Yeah, the rest of the team are ahead of him, and he's like the last line of defense. Taiwo Awani, he's like biscuits. He's good when he's fit, but he's always injured. He may actually start this game. I'm not sure yet. Cause didn't he score the winner when we came to? Was it? It was him, wasn't it? I think.
I tried
at
to block
St.
that
Mary's.
moment
I
out.
think when it was 1-0. Oh, I should know that. I should have it framed because it was like our only away win that year, man.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Does that upset you a little?
Yeah. Well, that's when we knew it's really bad. We thought it can't get any worse than this. We have to win this one, and then I think it's just.
Hey, that's why I'm saying to you guys that look, turn that into a positive, right? We got one away win that season, and under Cooper, while he was still with us the next season, we had one away win against Chelsea. So Cooper averages one away win a season, right? That's why Leicester are going. They're bottom. If they don't break Derby's record, I will be shocked. But anyway, so we need a striker going back to Forest. Now, we've been linked with a few. We've had, what's his name? Jimenez, the Mexican striker from Feyenoord. He's been linked heavily. And Nketiah. And Makuku's been very loosely linked. He's the one I want from Dortmund. He's quality on Football Manager, mate. But anyway, but Nketiah looks like he's the one coming in. And that's upset me. I'm not gonna lie, it's upset me because I look at him like an Arsenal reject because he is 19 goals in 116 games. Yeah, I mean we were linked with Che Adams in the summer. We were talking about it, and I didn't want him. I don't rate him at all. I was born in Scotland. I saw him play in the Euros, and he was crap. And I said the other day on one of my videos, I was like, I'd rather have got Che Adams than Nketiah because at least Che Adams would have flopped for free. We're paying over 30 million for him to flop. Now, I'm not saying he's going to flop, but it's just too much money for someone who isn't Prem proven. I know he's played in the Premier League, but he hasn't had a sustained run in the team or anything like that. It's too much money. Too much money for him. So that's why I'm a little annoyed with the transfer window. We just brought in Moreno, the left back. He will be available to play against you on Saturday.
Okay.
I don't mind him, but he's 31, and I'm a bit, I was going to swear again. See, I'm watching myself here.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
a bit like stubborn, right? Okay. Forest were going to sign him 2 seasons ago when we came back. Deals were agreed, fees were agreed. And then he changed his mind in the last second, wrote an open letter to the fans of Betis, say, I love you guys, I'm staying here. Screw Forest, I'm not going there. Then he buggered off to Villa. And it was like, and now he can't get into the Villa team. The other day he said he was happy at Villa. and then he's ended up on loan at Forest. So he's a good player. I like him as a player, but as a person, I just wonder about his motivations. So yeah, it's derailing a little. And then no doubt Batshuayi will be linked again because it's like tradition now. He gets linked every window in the last day. So you can see some of the old Forest coming on. But in general, it's been quite a solid transfer window.
Well, it all sounds good. I mean, certainly to hear you talk about players who are always linked with you. I mean, Armando Broja, I believe it's now Ipswich now. So that one's been put to bed for us. So I still
he was good at you know. I think that was his best spell.
He was good. But the fact he's gone to Ipswich and it's a case of he's on loan and then on obligation to buy if they stay up worries me for them, because if he's there at the end of the season thinking like, so if we stay up, I've got to stay here, or I can go back to Chelsea if we go down, that will worry me if he's got that in his mind. But I'm not saying he does. I'm not calling.
Well, they're getting down anyway, mate, so don't worry about it. That's 2 down. You just got to stay ahead of Brentford or something.
Exactly. So looking ahead to Saturday's game, how do you see Forest tactics? I'll be honest with you, I haven't really watched an awful lot of Forest, as I'm sure you haven't really studied Southampton in too much detail.
Because of you, I've been watching Southampton all last season as well, mate.
Oh,
thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm a little offended, mate. I'm a little offended. I'm joking.
I watched the Bournemouth game for a little bit. But how do you see the tactics faring up? I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was quite surprised away at Newcastle to see how well we did bossing the midfield. How do you see the Forest tactics comparing with Southampton?
It's going to be a slight mix of styles. I think you've been, under Martin, you've been quite a possession-based team, which I think as a fan, I'd quite enjoy watching that. So I don't know what the Southampton fans have been like with this style of football. But I even thought in the Championship, it was risky. Yeah, it cost you a couple of times here and there. But you got a nice identity being built. You against Newcastle, honestly, I thought you were brilliant. I thought you were even, and a lot of people said, oh, but it was 10 men. No, even before they went down to 10 men, I still think you were playing really well. And as you said, you were bossing that midfield. And I think Eddie Howe even came out and said, even before that, they weren't controlling the game as in Newcastle. So you come back in and you started in quite comfortably for me into the Premier League. I'm worried about this game because it's your first home game of the season as well. So you're not going to be up for it. Yeah, you're going to be welcoming back Premier League, and it's a nice moment, and the players will be up for it as well. I thought Aribo, is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
I thought he had a cracking game.
Yeah.
I think I've obviously got beef with one of your strikers, who's a bit of a shit housery. Yeah, we know plenty about him.
Brereton Diaz.
That'd be the one, man. Like,
I'm trying to find a fan base that actually likes him. It's that he's not currently at the club.
I didn't mind him until literally the second last game of last season where we played Sheffield and they were down. Yeah, and we beat them. But he scored, I think they got a penalty, he scored it, and he went and gave it one to the crowd. And bro, you came through our ranks, man. Showed a little bit of respect. Yeah. And you're getting relegated. I mean, if you're about to win, the league is like, I get it, but come on, man, calm yourself down. So he's a good player, though, right? Yeah. I do, personality aside, I think he's got enough to be in that lower half of the Premier League table. But he is a bit of a, I was going to swear again, you know what I'm saying, right? So I like that you've still somehow got Walker Peters there, even though I saw a Q&A. See, I'm not even joking. I follow someone. There was a Q&A with management and a couple of other people a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about him, and it sounded like he was going. Obviously, the window's still open, but he's still there. He'll be there for Saturday, and I still think he's a decent player. But in general, I think your squad is okay. It's not going to win the league. We know that. No. But what I like about Southampton is normally, apart from the season where you went down, you find a way. Do you know what I mean? You find a way. There's always stages of the season where you think you're going to go down. And that's why, genuinely, I've got you to stay up. Because I think you've got that Prem grit. You know what a Prem season's like. Ipswich won't. Leicester have, but they're under Cooper, so they're in trouble. And I think one or two of the other newer teams, your Brentfords, etc., maybe even Wolves will get dragged into this. So in terms of the game, I see it being tight. I see you guys looking to go for the possession-based football. It may actually suit Forest because we haven't been fully possession based. We've been better at home with possession, but
Okay.
away, it's not low block. I'd call it more counter attacking football. So, I mean, even if you look at the line you played against Newcastle, very adventurous. You were very high up. And I
Yeah.
expect you'll probably do that again because you're at home. And this is a game where I think you should be looking at and thinking we can target this. So I think there could be a few goals in it. My head leans towards like a draw. Obviously, my heart says Forest win 2-0. But, you know, it is the Tree Derby, mate. It means the world to everyone.
It is indeed. So that is, I mean, my next question was literally score prediction. So you're already ahead. It's like you can see the snowpad right here. So what?
See into your mind, man. Yeah, I think like if I wasn't a Forest fan and I was looking at this neutral, I could see a draw. Yeah.
Okay.
I just expect that Nuno needs to look at this game the same way that I just said about you guys. That you are newly promoted. We've got to get the first goal to quieten the crowd down. If we can get the first goal, I think we could kick on and get a second. We have to score 2 goals to win this match, is what I'd say to you, because we're just so silly at giving away silly goals still. Yeah, okay. We'll probably look defensively solid for like, you know, 75% of the game, but you will get a chance against us. And it's just, can he put it away? Freaking ex-Forest boy. Or can Armstrong do it? You know, one of those two. I'm assuming you'll probably play with those two up front. So I'm not confident enough to say Forest will win, but my heart is telling me Forest will win 2-0. But head says draw.
Well, I'm out of all my sensible questions. Do you want the silly ones?
Yes. Okay. Well, I thought they were the silly ones.
Okay, here we go. So, which of the sides has a better manager, and why is it Russell Martin?
Well, look, I like.
In all honesty, who honestly do you think is the most complete manager at the moment? Because obviously Russell Martin's a very new to the game, learning his trade. He was linked all over the place. I think he was even linked with Man United at some point during last season. I mean, I know agents do crazy things. But how do you view Russell Martin in terms of a manager at the moment? Is he just like, he hasn't proved anything yet, or do you rate him?
No, I don't agree with that kind of sentiment. Look, I like a manager who's got a identity and, you know, who can look at the pitch and know what he wants to see. And I see that in him. You know, I'm still waiting for it to come through with Nuno. There's signs of it coming through. And Nuno's obviously the more experienced manager. He's done this plenty of times in the Premier League, abroad, etc. Yeah. But inexperience doesn't necessitate that you're going to be a rubbish manager. Look at Arteta. Okay, I personally don't rate Arteta that highly, but I'm going to contradict my point. But look where he came from, an assistant manager job. It's taken Arsenal and progressed them to still win nothing. But still, they're winning nothing closer to City. So I don't buy that sentiment. And I think he's been tagged incorrectly. I've heard it a few times. I'm sure you must have heard it, where people are tagging him to, he'll be the Vincent Kompany of this year. He'll stick to his guns and want to play the beautiful football. And then Southampton will go down without a fight. I don't agree to. I think he's smarter than that. You need to adapt against the teams. He will. But what I think he'll do well is when there's an expectation that there's something you can get out of the game, he'll have the kahunas to go after it and play in his style. So I do respect him. I do rate him. Obviously, I've seen him in like games where Forest played him in his previous jobs, like at Swansea would be one that comes to mind. We did trounce him, but he still had an identity and you can kind of see what he wants to do. But in terms of who's better, I think we can both agree that there's only one answer to that. And that's Nathan Jones.
And we're still paying his wages. We're still paying his wages.
You're still paying his wage? No way, man.
Yeah. No way. It's yeah. Oh man, that's gonna electrify this fan base. My goodness, you mentioning that name on this channel. Oh my word. Oh my word.
I said the NJ word, did I?
Exactly. That's it. My entire fan base is gonna like demonetize this themselves by reporting the video. But amazing stuff. Well, that pretty much concludes everything I had. But I think that it will be an interesting game at the weekend. Just going back on your point in regards to the how the similarities with Burnley. We're getting this a lot, and a lot of
Yeah, I
people
bet
look at
you
us, and it's just like a little bit lazy punditry. But I get
Agreed.
it on a certain regard because of the style of football we play. Key difference with us is that we bought those loan players that we had in the Championship.
Yeah.
You know, Burnley had Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and we had him on loan last year in the Championship. We bought him. We paid 20 million from Flynn down. So we had a loan from West Ham. We bought him. So we've already spent near on 50 million quid on those loan players, knowing full well that we've got to try and implement it. So maybe if Burnley had bought Nathan Teller and kept Taylor Harwood-Bellis, they'd be in the better standing right now. But I'm just hoping that Russell Martin isn't the Bayern Munich manager next season. That's all I can say. So that'd certainly be
Probably a Dortmund, mate.
it'd certainly be a total event. But that's a mad one. Well, just in case anyone needs any introduction, Wolfie, let us know where we can find you on the channels.
At Forest Fan TV on YouTube, at official FFTV, I think it is on socials. Well, I'm sure I'm putting words in Mike's mouth now. I'm sure at some point we'll be kicking back off Beat the Drop and bringing the band back together. So that, look forward to that coming up as well. I think they are still our most popular shows, honestly. Like
Really?
all last season 4 is like, we want Beat the Drop. When's it back? Already this season, everyone's asking for it. So if you lot want it, I'm sure the boys will be up for doing
It's
it.
going to be Beat the Mid-Table now, isn't it? Beat the Mid-Table.
Race to Europe, mate. We got to change the
Race
name.
to Europe. The nearly top 6. Who knows?
The just missed out, the 8s.
Fantastic. Well, be sure I'll put all the links in the comments or the description section below. So definitely go over to Forest Fan TV, smash a like and subscribe. Do all of the things. But I'm sure there will be plenty of content.
And don't forget to tell them I'll be grilling you next on our channel. So if you want to see Mike get grilled and probably tell how he really feels rather than the lies he's been spewing.
Exactly.
Yeah?
All the questions coming through this wall here. This wall here.
That way.
that one there. Yeah, we'll be coming through. So there it is. Looking forward to the game weekend. As always, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. All right. See you.